Hey y'all, it's Janine, and today I am bringing you another resin project. Today I'm going to show you how to make these really cute little Fleur De Lis magnets. You could use them as pendants or anything else your heart desires, but I made magnets out of mine. And I did them in my favorite sports team colors. This is the New Orleans Saints colors, and this is LSU colors. Anyway, it's a really simple project, and I used a mold that I bought from Amazon.com. And it's a silicone mold. The resin pops out of silicone really easily. And they have a million different shapes that you can buy. I mean, there really are just so many different silicone molds that you can find on Amazon. But anyway, we're going to jump right in and show you how to make these. Okay, for this project, I am using a silicone mold that I did get from Amazon.com, and it's a Fleur De Lis mold, and you can see it has different levels. So what I'm going to be doing with this project is I'm going to be doing it in two pours. I'm going to mix some colorants to do the first pour to fill in this first level, and then after it sets for a little while, I'm going to mix another batch of resin and with a different color to do the second level of the mold. So it'll have two colors, and I'm doing them in LSU colors, which is Louisiana State University Tigers, and their colors are purple and gold. And I'm going to be doing Saints colors, which is black and gold. And of course, the Fleur De Lis is a traditional Saints, the Saints emblem. But I went ahead and since the Fleur De Lis is also just a Louisiana symbol, decided to do the LSU colors with the Fleur De Lis as well. So, also going to need plastic gloves if you want to protect your hands because you are working with chemicals. I'm using the Easy Cast resin, which is just a two-part resin. It's got or a two-part epoxy, which has a hardener and a resin, and it dries clear and glossy. I'm going to be using gold pigment. Again, I used it in my last project, and I'm also going to be using gold glitter. And then I'm going to be using some yellow acrylic paint and some yellow glitter. And I really like this glitter. It's a very finely milled glitter, and it just has a beautiful effect when it's mixed with the paint and the resin. So I went ahead and mixed an ounce each of the two-part resin, and then I divided it into 2 cups for our project. In the first one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix a little bit of this gold pigment in with the resin. And to do that, I'm just going to take a stir stick and just pick up a little bit of the pigment with the stir stick and put it directly in the resin and stir. And if it achieves the color I want, then that'll be great. If not, I'll add just a little bit more pigment to it. And actually that looks good. That's going to be enough. And then in the other one, I'm going to mix just a few drops of the yellow acrylic paint. And again, I start with a little and see how it looks. And that actually looks really good. It doesn't take a lot of the paint or the pigment to color the resin. And you just want to make sure you mix it in really well, because if you have spots of paint that aren't mixed in well with the resin, they won't cure, and you'll get just little pockets of wet paint at the bottom of your design, or the bottom of your casting. Okay, I'm going to mix this pigment a little better. Okay, and now in the gold pigment, I'm going to sprinkle in a fairly generous helping of this gold glitter. Most of it is going to sink to the bottom, which is fine. That's really what I want it to do in this situation, because the bottom of the mold is actually going to be the front of the of our casting. And I didn't want to sprinkle it directly in because I am going to be working with 2 different colors, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't, you know, get glitter in one that I didn't want it to be in. Okay, I think I want some more glitter in that. I do want it to be a fairly large amount of glitter in it. And that one looks good. And then in our cup of yellow resin, I'm going to pour in some of this yellow glitter. And again, I'm probably going to put quite a bit. This glitter is so absolutely gorgeous when it's cast in resin. It's just a beautiful, beautiful effect. I did get some glitter in my mold, so I'm just going to shake it out. Okay, I just make sure it's a little bit of gold glitter in this one and this one, so I'll just make sure and put the gold in those 2. And I'm just going to pour until I run out of resin, so I don't know really how many this is going to make. Okay, let's see what we end up with. But everything looks great, so we're going to let this cure for a few hours. Like I said, in the meantime, I'm going to try and clean up some drips inside the mold, and we'll come back when we're ready for the second pouring. Okay, I've let this set for a couple of hours now so that we can do our second pour. The first one doesn't have to dry or harden completely overnight to do the second pour. We just need to let it harden long enough so that the 2 colors don't mix together. Now, because the second pour is going to be wider and deeper than the first pour, I mixed 1.5 ounces of each of the resin and the hardener to have 3 ounces total. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the first one. First, I'm going to start with the black, and I'm going to put just a little bit of black paint into the resin. Okay, and to that, I'm going to add some black glitter. Pretty good bit. Give that a good stir. And I think I want some more glitter. Okay, that looks perfect. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with some purple acrylic paint. And a different stir stick. You can see how it just sits in there. You've got to mix it up really well. And to that I'm going to add, just like the yellow glitter, I'm going to add this extra fine purple glitter to it. Okay, and what I'm going to do is pour the purple resin over the yellow resin, and then I'm going to pour the black over the gold resin. Okay, so I already popped out the little magnets, or the little resin pieces out of the mold. I forgot to film that for you, so I'm really sorry. But anyway, after they had hardened overnight, just went ahead and popped them right out of the mold. And like I told you, the resin pops out of silicone so easily, so there's really nothing to it. And then to finish them up with the magnet, all I did was I took a little E6000 glue, and I just put, just a little squirt of it on the back of the resin piece where I wanted the magnet to go. And then I used these magnets that I bought from Hobby Lobby, and they were around $8 for 50 magnets, which I didn't think was bad at all. And they have a magnet strength, if you can see that down here, of 6, which means they're pretty strong. So they'll be able to go onto your refrigerator and actually hold up a piece of paper or a photograph or anything like that. And that's all there was to it. I just let after I put the E6000 and the magnet on the back, I just let that set overnight to make sure that it dried really well and that the magnets are holding well. I love this E6000 glue. It is so strong, and it really does hold up. Versus hot glue. Over the time, if you use a hot glue gun and hot glue sticks, over time the glue weakens, and with temperature changes and differences in humidity, after a while the magnets would start popping off. But with this E6000 glue, these magnets are on there probably just about forever. But that's all there was to it. If you have any questions, if there are any other projects that you would like to see me do, just leave me a comment below. I would love hearing from you. And if you make any resin pieces, or please send me some pictures. I have all my email information down below. It was so good talking to you today. Have a great day.